What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the La Liga Career Mode. It's episode number 36. As always, lots to get through today, as we'll have both legs of our Champions League last 16. First away in Turin and at home against Juventus. Aim to get to the quarter-finals after the knockouts in the last 16 in the past 2 years. But we start with this. 8 points clear of Real Madrid in La Liga. 14 games to go and a chance to go 11 clear for 48 hours with a win here in the Basque region. Bilbao away, our first game today. That was fantastic. Huge episode today, possibly the biggest of the, oh what a finish, Giuliano Simeone, possibly the biggest of the save as well, because, well, put it this way, as things stand, we're on course to win La Liga, but if we have a couple of slip-ups in a row, we know this, we've seen this, Real Madrid will catch up, and once they're past you, they ain't looking back. And as for the Champions League, last 2 years, knocked out in the last 16, first Inter, then Dortmund. If we go out to Juve, we've said it. On the knockout of the Copa del Rey and the Super Copa, there's no second chances. This is our final season. We could be facing the prospect of a trophy to save. It's good though. It's good to feel the pressure. We've talked about this in the recent episodes, how back in the day, I mean, you could have a newly promoted side and win the Champions League in 2 or 3 years. It certainly isn't the way it goes now, or at least not for me. Yeah, gone are the days when Doxy Boy would build a dynasty in just 2 or 3 years. That is no longer the case on CM, and rightfully so, as Lee's going to try his luck. What a thunderbolt! Weaker right foot, but nothing weak about the strike. Top bins, Valencia level. He's definitely been a step up from Ansu Fati. You know, brought him back last season, and he won the assist title. No, he was second in assists, wasn't he, to Samu last year? But only Samu had more assists than him in La Liga, and yeah, comfortable save, but yeah, he's got that in his locker. You know, as good as he is when running through, drifting out wide, then back in, threading balls through the middle. But those efforts from range, I would wager that half, if not a third, of his goals have come from outside the area. Having a distance specialist like that is so helpful when you're struggling to break teams down. Samu's on, he's on. Number 18 kept him on, Samu takes advantage, and once again, it was the theme of the last episode, and it's the theme of the save. Starting off slowly, but coming from behind to lead. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, seriously, the amount of games we have started off poorly, like, why can't we just start games playing the way we're finishing them, you know? Because if we did, like I said before, I'd have no doubt we'd be going for La Liga, Champions League, and we'd still be in the Copa del Rey, I know that for sure, as well. As Ariso clips it through, and Fati receives it. Silva is threaded through for the dagger. Game! Well, it is over now. So the ball drops behind for a goal kick. And the final will be blown as soon as it is taken. Well, we might not win by a couple of goals, but we will win regardless, coming from behind. It is the Valencia way right now. And if we could just start games off a little bit better, I have no doubt we wouldn't end this save trophyless. As things stand though, La Liga is definitely ours to throw away. Gap extended to 11, though Real have a game in hand. Right, let's do it then. Following contest, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the biggest games of the save. The first leg of the last 16 of the Champions League, travelling to Turin to take on the 2-time winners, Juventus. Heading into this tie, as we know, our last chance to win the Champions League and Valencia's first in club history. But the past 2 years, we were knocked out of this very round. First against Inter Milan and against Dortmund last season. This year, can we overcome the demons and make it through to the quarterfinals? First leg in Turin. Vamos Valencia. Of course, Juventus have won so many things at the domestic level, but for the Champions League, 2-time winners. Once back in the 1980s, that final was overshadowed by the tragedy at the Heysel Stadium. I know I'm showing my age a little bit here, but it was a disastrous, tragic event in world football, and they also won in the mid-90s as well. They've been runners-up, I think, 4 or 5 times since that second Champions League win. And I remember back in 2017 when they faced Real Madrid in Wales. I remember thinking when Mandzukic scored that incredible goal, we all remember it very well, Mario Mandzukic, absolutely beautiful bicycle kick. I remember thinking when it was tied at 1-1, Juve are going to win this. I had this feeling that Juve would go on and win it. But such is the greatness of Real Madrid. No one's won the Champions League more times than them, of course. Fitting they will come back to win it in Cardiff. But tonight in Turin, we need a good first leg result to take back home Oh, and that would have been a perfect start. This has been a good start from Valencia, though. Much, much better than what we're used to, you know, stumbling out of the blocks. 35 minutes in, 9 to play before the break now, and we're looking comfortable. In possession, defending without the ball, and just in general, handling the occasion well. Oh, Samu's unmarked! Come on! And handling it brilliantly. Ball fist across. You can't leave one of the deadliest strikers in Europe alone 5 yards out. Easy goal. No. Last chance for Juve. Last chance for Juve. Flick back by Openda. Ball through. What a save, Chevalier. Only time we've been breached in the entire night. And that is why we signed him to replace Robert Sanchez. That is the difference a world-class goalkeeper can make. Bailing us out the only time we were breached. Brilliant defensive display in Turin. I've not said we've had a brilliant defensive display many times in the save, let alone the season. But it means a clean sheet in Mestalla, and we'll be through to quarterfinals. I'll have to include some defensive highlights though as I'm going through the outro here. Mosquera in this game was absolutely unbeatable into that final chance there. Don't often show defensive highlights, but I've got to shout Christian out in this game, man. Nothing got past him. Brick wall. Right, following game should be a banker. Back at the Mestalla, back to matters in La Liga, and heading into this game after Real Madrid drew in Sevilla against Real Betis yesterday. We've gone 7 clear and have a game in hand. Win this and we'll be 10 points ahead of Carlo's side with 12 games to go. Surely, I mean surely at that point we won't be bottling this La Liga Championships and Valencia's 7th in club history. Following contest, Getafe at home. Vamos Valencia. Well, normally in a lot of my saves, as you know, if we're clear in the league, what I'll do in a game like this, or a European game of the week, is rotate a lot on my side. You know, rest 6, 7, sometimes 8 players from our starting 11 and say, come on, we're so far clear. Let's just give the starters a breather. Oh! For that European tie in the week. But because we haven't won anything in the save, I'm not taking any chances. I'll never forgive myself if we're to, let's take out the Champions League on Tuesday night, or if we get through in the quarterfinals and end up bottling La Liga by resting players in games like this and dropping points successively. I won't forgive myself, man. We've got to win something this year, if only just one La Liga. Clipped over the top. Christian heads it away. Had a brilliant night in Turin, and tonight he stood strong as well. As things stand, still 0-0, and the gap will be re-extended to 8. Though this will be our game in hand spurned, if you will. It'll still be a comfortable gap. Don't get me wrong, but this is one of the easier games we'll have between now and the end of the season. As Ansu Fati couldn't provide the breakthrough. 21 minutes to go. Can we find a winner? Nope, couldn't find that winning goal, and in the end held to a goal short. Nice to get back-to-back clean sheets. Haven't had that in a long time, but that is 2 points dropped there, and a chance to go further clear at the top. Wasted. Right, let's jump straight out of that one and into the next one. Next up, Tuesday night, Juventus in the second leg of the Champions League last 16. Heading into this one, defending a 1-goal lead. We know, keep a clean sheet in our 3rd in a row in all competitions, and we are through to the quarterfinals for the first time in a save. If we go out here, well, it will be 3 gone, only 1 remaining in our hunt for silverware in our final season. Juve in the second leg. I feel confident. Vamos Valencia. I always find approaches to these ties fascinating, because if you go all out, get that second goal, I mean, you put the cat amongst the pigeons, and if you get that goal early, that can just knock any kind of confidence, any kind of belief that trailing team had of getting back in the tie. But if you do that and then concede so early, that lead you had in that second leg has gone straight away, and you're back to square one, and all the momentum now belongs to what were the trailing side. Yes! But I always say fortune favours the brave. Pepe Lu, old reliable, puts us in front. 6 minutes in, Valencia 2 up in the tie. It's one of my core beliefs in life that you learn through evidence, and so if you've done something before, you can do it again. We kept a clean sheet in the first leg. We know how to keep a clean sheet against this team, so why can't we do it in the second leg? Well, well, I was going to say as things stand, we want to do that, but Openda says not anymore. Deficit cut to 1. I think Chevalier should have done better there, personally. Header wasn't right in the corner. Wasn't headed with much power. Granted, close proximity, but Juve right back in it. quite harsh to blame Chevalier for that goal, to be fair. He was very close to Openda, who headed it in, and I think I'd be nitpicking to blame him for that goal. Not to mention, he bailed me out at the end of the first leg with that incredible one-on-one save. So, yeah, it's not a mistake from Chevalier, just poor defending from Doxy Boy. Not for the first time this season. But as Lee rolls through, Samu! Oh, great save by Julian Aguirre-Zabala. Keeps us in front by the 1, but Juve aren't out. 18 for them to force extra time. Final chance, Juventus, you feel 2 minutes to play. Just stand firm here, and we'll be into the quarterfinals the first time in the save. This is it. Clipped in. Prados goes up for the header. Heads it away. Chan's got to win it. Doesn't. Thuram, dispossessed by Vivian, and that will do it. Come on. Tense, nervy, second leg. Tense, nervy tie. Valencia progress by the skin of their teeth. First time in the save. We are into the quarterfinals of Europe. But if that tie's even as half as difficult as this one, we'll do well to make the semis. Let's see what we got. And this was the Wednesday night game as well, so we'll have the draw directly afterwards. And man, that was so tough. But I said this before, this is why it's so much harder to win in FC nowadays, man, compared to before. To be honest, whoever we take on from there, I would say we're either underdogs or evens, if you will, to make it through. So quarterfinal, we don't know, but it'll be in the calendar. It'll be in the calendar. The quarterfinal is going to see us take on. Oh, Paris Saint-Germain over 2 legs. First at home and then away in Paris. And right after that, we'll play Real Madrid in one of the biggest games of the save. What a game that is going to be. Right, let's do 2 more games today. Save both of those legs for the following episode, including Barcelona and Real Madrid as well. That will be the big blockbuster episode of the save that one in the next one. But in the build-up to that, 2 more games in La Liga, starting with this away in Seville against Sevilla. Right now, 8 clear of Real Madrid with 12 games to go. And we're still, elephant in the room, undefeated. Can we extend it here and get back to winning ways after none in our last 2 in all competitions? Vamos Valencia. Yep, that next episode we'll have Barcelona, Real Madrid, both legs against PSG, and a couple more big games in La Liga too, where, well, put it this way, we could either take a monstrous lead at the top of the table, all but guaranteeing La Liga, or we could be caught by Real Madrid and out of the Champions League as well. But in order to get to that in the best possible position, we've got to get back on track with a big win here against Sevilla. No wins in our last 2 in all competitions. Got to put it right in a tough clash here against a side we regularly struggle against. Chan! Oh, that would have been beautiful. See that in the top left there. This is one of those games where the stats are somewhat deceptive. Yes, there's been 7 shots on target, but the vast majority have been from range. It's not exactly been a game of clear-cut opportunities yet. That's why the XG stat... You know, when the XG stat first came in... Yes! I was a little skeptical of it becoming mainstream because, you know, I like advanced analytics, don't get me wrong, but you know, sometimes I can be a little bit old school, and I accept that, you know, sometimes I'm a little old school, I'm a little skeptical of new formats and new technologies and new ways of capturing data, but it's definitely helped, I think, me and well, many others as well, understand that sometimes the stats don't tell the full story, sometimes the XG doesn't tell the full story, but... It has been a helpful indicator, if you will. Anyway, still got ourselves in front, courtesy of that great strike from Lee. Not sure what the XG was there, but I know it hit the back of the net. To be fair, even XG sometimes needs to be taken with a pinch of salt. I heard Ole Gunnar Solskjaer make a great point about this. The great Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who was a tremendous forward back in his day with Manchester United, he made a very good point that XG is seen and recorded as a team statistic, which means that no matter what player you're using, the XG would be the same based on the position on the pitch, the time given to take the shot, and the angle of the shot, and so on. But he made a very good point that he was very modest in saying that his XG would be higher than that of a defender. Of course, absolutely. You know, I'd rather Ole Gunnar Solskjaer taking a shot from 12 yards out than me, for example. You know, so it's a very good point. It's a very good point. But... Oh, even so. Still 1-0, 18 to play. Can we hold on? Well, I'm not quite sure what our XG was in that game. We took an awful lot of shots, but only scored with 1. However, the most important stat of the game is, of course, the scoreline, and it reads Sevilla 0, Valencia 1. Back to winning ways, 3 clean sheets in 4 on a really nice unbeaten stretch. And heading to our final game, which will end on here, Mallorca at home. Just check the league table on the back of that win there. We've now gone 10 clear with 11 games to go. It is our title to throw away, but this is Real Madrid doing the chasing. We've got to remain focused and keep the streak going. Mallorca at home, our final game. Vamos, Valencia. Yes, if I'm remembering correctly, we haven't tasted defeat in any competition since that Supercopa final loss to Real Madrid. And, you know, we say it all the time, but it's those moments of failure that make you stronger. I actually shared on my Instagram recently. I'm not really using social media much nowadays, but I logged into Instagram during the week, and I shared this great clip of Sir Alex Ferguson giving a nice lecture to young boys and girls, aspiring footballers. And he was talking about how it was the 9 finals he lost that made him a serial winner. And it's learning from those losses, taking you to much deeper depths of your character development than your successes ever will. I know it's a cliche, but it does ring true as well. Serial winners are often forged by their losses. Silva to Lee and Samu to Fabio. Oh, what on earth just happened there? Thank you very much, Mr. Number 5, who literally just lost his bearings and complete concentration. Senor numero 5, I should say. Just let Silva run past him for an easy tap in. Valencia in front, and as things stand, back-to-back wins, back on track, and staying clear at the top. 2.5 to play, as things stand, still leading by 1. And it's Pepe Luis going to float one in. Samu at the far post, got his head to the ball. And, oh, no. Now, that animation was bizarre. He seemed to hit the turf fine and then flip over and get the injury. And that, I think, might be a 3-month season ender. I'm taking him off at a break. We haven't had much in the way of injuries to deal with this season at all, really. We've been very lucky. One of the things that helps, though, is that now my rotation of my squad is really good, to be fair. Brilliant finish by Guiri to put Mallorca back on level terms. But I've mentioned this before, it's a little trick, and I don't use it intentionally as an exploit, but sometimes I just make the 5 subs anyway. But basically, when you've made all 5 subs, you can no longer get a serious injury that requires a stretcher. So those injuries, of course, are the 7-month ones. But even I believe even the broken toes, the 3-month injuries and the dislocated shoulders as well, can't happen when you've made all of your subs. So it's a little tip. Again, I don't use it as an intentional exploit, but I do make 5 subs practically every single game. So that, of course, negates the possibility of, I'm loving the word negate recently, I'm saying that a lot, of a serious injury happening. Silva bundles through. Giro, come on! And I might be calling on him between now and the end of the season, waiting in the wings for the chance. Gets it, takes it. Certainly not our best in this game, you don't need me to tell you that. And that's why with 17 to play, I'm not surprised to see that man get another. Mallorca twice in the game, battling back to equalise 2-2. And this is going to be a damaging slip-up with only 1 win in our last 4 in all competitions. We want to win the Liga and the Champions League. Oh, we're not going to do it with form like that. We'll have a chance with goals like that. I want you to show respect against his former club. Lee said there's nothing respectful about the strike. Second time today. Belts one in. Tight angle. Finds the gap. Kisses the post. Restores the lead. Valencia in front. A thriller of a game to end on today as Valencia win it late courtesy of Lee Kang In. Unfortunately, whilst we did get the win and stay 10 points clear at the top, there was a bit of bad news. That injury for Samu can be described as could have been worse, could have been a hell of a lot better. 4-week sprained knee for our big number 9, which means he'll miss both Real Madrid and Barcelona in crucial La Liga battles in the next episode, plus both legs at that Champions League quarter-final. Thanks for watching, guys. Much love to you all, and I will see you in the next episode you won't want to miss. Biggest episode to save as we chase our League and Champions League double. very soon.